All right, Choice Residential. So we are going over today Form 202, the property showing agreement, and this is the January 2025 revision. A couple of things that changed on this with this mid-year revision, and they mostly have to do with disclosure and transparency with the public and making sure they understand what they could be paying you if they were to work with you moving forward. So one change you'll see here in paragraph 1 is that there is now a space in here where you need to insert what you expect to be paid if you were in fact to help this buyer who right now you're just showing them a home with this property showing agreement. But if you were to help them in the future make an offer, what you expect to be paid. Now, you would need to enter into a buyer agency, either an exclusive buyer agency or non-exclusive buyer agency with them in order to help them make an offer. But this is just saying if you go down that road later, how much do you expect to get paid? How much does the firm expect to get paid? That way they know what they're getting into because you're showing them this property, you're building rapport. You hope that you're going to continue working with them. They hope that they're going to trust you and want to continue working with you. So this is about establishing what your compensation is going to be. If all of that happens and you guys do decide to enter into a more detailed relationship like a buyer agency agreement, so that they know what they will be paying you in that case. So this should align with what you'd be entering into a buyer agency agreement should you enter into one with them. Then, of course, we still have whether they've signed any kind of document, not just an agency agreement, but if they signed any kind of document, including a showing agreement with another agent, you need to know about that. They need to be forthcoming. So that's an acknowledgement there. The term of the agreement, this could be one day. The purpose of this property showing agreement is just to comply with the settlement, establish what this means for you to be showing a property with them. And again, when you're doing this, you need to have gone over the working with real estate agents brochure as well. Don't forget about that. But the term of this agreement could certainly just be one day. I think it's intended that this is likely going to be a short period of time anyway, even if it is more than one day. All right, then a little change here, or some additions here in terms of the fee for showing services. So either the buyer is going to pay you a non-refundable fee, or there's no fee owed by the buyer for this agreement. So are you charging them to show this property or not? That's up to you. And then it says, and it's important you know this, the firm may not receive compensation for showing services from any other source. This is why we've talked about this quite a bit, that you should not be showing properties for agents at other firms, nor should you have agents at other firms showing property for you. With this lawsuit and settlement, it became way more complicated to do that. And in this case, if an agent was paying you to go show a property for them, that would be against the terms of this agreement because you may not receive compensation from any other source other than from the buyer themselves. So make sure you're paying close attention to this. And you, as a matter of policy at Choice Residential, you need to refrain from showing property for agents at other firms and from having agents at other firms show property for you. Same goes for, just FYI, for hosting open houses. We have a large firm. We have lots of agents that would love to help. We do need to keep it within the framework of the firm. Then, of course, another statement that compensation is not fixed by law. You'll see that in bold letters on all of our agency agreements. And then also an inclusion here about dual agency, whether the firm may or may not act as a dual agent. So if you're showing another Choice Residential listing under this showing agreement, you want to make sure you have the box checked that you may act as a dual agent. And you'll want to have the working with real estate agents brochure checked appropriately as well. So just make sure, again, you're doing that before showing the home. They'll need to sign a working with real estate agents brochure as well as this property showing agreement if this is how you're choosing to manage that. If you have any questions about this form, please reach out. Again, I know it can be frustrating to have all these different options for forms and that they have been changing quite a bit over the last 12 months. But it is important. It's your job, and it's a requirement that you stay up to date with what's happening and what the changes are. So if you're unclear about anything, please reach out to either myself or to Ashley so that we can provide guidance, make sure you are doing things correctly, so we can keep everybody out of trouble. All right. Thank you, guys.